So you've booked that well-needed budget break, but have you thought about the extra costs? Well, I'm here to help you minimise them so you're not skint before you even get to the airport. Right, well, we're off to Stockholm on Friday and I can't wait. And we got a hell of a deal. We got 3 nights for 70 quid each. That's 30 quid each for flights with Ryanair and 140 quid for a hotel. That's for 3 of us. Boom. That's pretty damn good to start with, isn't it? But this is the one thing that I always come unstuck on, is the hidden costs. And let's start with just getting to the damned airport. There's 3 of us going, me, Suin and my eldest Book. Now, I live in Shrewsbury during the week, Suin lives in Anglesey during the week, and Book lives in Birmingham, and we're flying from bloody Stansted. The logistics of putting that together on the train would be a nightmare, and it wouldn't be very cheap either. And because it's a budget flight, it's not particularly late in the morning either. We're flying out at 8 o'clock. The furthest point from there is 5 hours, so we're going to have to get a hotel. Unfortunately, there is no way to do that cheaply, so this has ended up costing us an extra £140, which includes the parking and breakfast. So it's not too bad, but that is still another £35 each on the holiday. That £70 holiday is now £100. Now the next big money saver is packing light. I always, where possible, travel with just a personal item. Now the way I do this, I've got a great bag. And there it is, it's a Norway. You pick that up on Amazon for about 12 quid. Now I've had this bag for over 2 years. I picked it up for a holiday when I went to Krakow. It's been on 9 trips, and it's also the one I used to go home with every single weekend. So you could say it's done 104 trips and it still works. In other words, the zip works. It goes under the chair. What else do you need? That's not particularly stuffed. That will easily go under a chair. You know, it's almost like a clutch bag. Because we are going Ryanair and they're notoriously stingy with their allowances. In addition to that, I've got 2 power packs, various plugs, and I'm ready to rock. Now, my other little trick is, when I'm going Ryanair, I have to carry my vlogging camera. This bad boy goes under a jumper, under a coat, and even lighter, you wouldn't even know I've got that one on. I might give that to one of the kids. Now we also always pack a Pack-A-Mac. I know it sounds like I'm an old man, well I am an old man, but a Pack-A-Mac really doubles up well because A, it keeps you dry in any of the conditions, and B, it's like wearing a bin bag, it keeps you warm as well. Always got one of them. I usually end up giving it to one of the kids because they're not so careful as me when it comes to packing. Toiletry wise, I take a toothbrush and a sponge. Most hotels have got shower gels and stuff. I buy a cheap bottle of deodorant when I get there because you can't take that on the plane anyway. Boom. I've got no hair, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, the girls will have to be a little bit more, well, Suin's makeup's almost another bag. And with that in mind, if there is 3 or 4 of you and you find that bag is a bit stingy, instead of buying an extra cabin bag each, just buy one between you. I think on Ryanair it works out on this trip, it would cost you 50 quid. But I think I've got enough. You're only going for 2 nights. But then what you do is, your layers are your friend. Because we're staying in a hotel the night before, we're getting on the airplane fresh. So obviously I'm going to wear my jeans, because I wouldn't put them in the bag. I'm going to wear a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and my favourite jumper. And my secret weapon is my thick coat with lots of pockets. It's fine. You're going to be on the plane for 2 hours. If you're going somewhere warm, get the jumper off as soon as you've landed. You'll get the rest of the holiday out of it. That's what we do. Saves us a fortune. We didn't take much more when we went to Canada for a week, but the space under the seat was a little bit bigger on that one. So the next tip is avoiding overpriced airport food and drink. Now for us, we're staying in a hotel that includes breakfast, so that's that one covered, but you know what the kids are like. The other thing is, if I'm flying later in the day, I've got a deal where I can get airport lounge for £20. Not so sure about that one. However, you can spend that on a burger and a pint at the airport anyway, so what the hell. I get a few down me so I can have a bit of a kip. It definitely get me £20 worth. Another tip here is take an empty water bottle through security. They'll let you through with an empty one, you can fill it up on the other side. That's going to save you buying a drink on the plane. Then again, you're only talking a couple of quid. So far, we're 140 in on additional expenses. Between 3 is £35 a head. So far, £35 a head on additional expensive, and that's just for the hotel and parking. That's fine till you get there. Right, the biggest favour you can do to yourself is to find out what it's going to cost to get from the airport to the city. In our case, we're staying near the airport, but you're still going to have that journey to do. In Stockholm, the Arlanda Express is really expensive. However, you can get what's called the SL card, which covers you for 72 hours for £20 a head, and that will get you from the airport. But I found out in advance, if you catch the train from the airport, there's a £12 surcharge on the journey, so you walk out the airport and get a bus for your first bit. Boom, you're saving that £12, which when there's 3 of you, that's 36 quid. That's worth saving. So that's another 20 quid a head for all our transport. Now in Stockholm, that also comes as a bit of an attraction. You can get on some of the ferries with that, and you can do a tour of the Stockholm Underground, which is one of your attractions covered, because there's loads of artwork to see, and that's one of the reasons we're going. Next one up is attractions. We've decided to do 3 things. One is the Underground, because that's covered with my ticket. Well worth doing. Second one is we want to go to the ABBA Museum, researching ahead, find out how much that is. Works out as £16 each. And then we're probably, if the weather's good, we're going to go to Skansen, which is £18 each. As I say, we're only there for two nights, which is a day and 3 quarters. We've got 3 attractions covered. I think that's your lot. Plenty to see and do that you can do for nothing. So our attraction cost is £34 each. Quite happy with that. Next one up is I'm travelling with 2 kids. That's going to cost. The eldest is a student, so he's used to managing their own money. Obviously, I'll be paying for food and attractions. The youngest, Suin. She's a bit of a money pit. So the way I'm getting around this is I'm telling her attractions and food are found, and every week I give her a certain amount of money. I retain that for a few weeks. I'm going to give her 50 quid splurging money. She will splurge it, but if she was splurging from my pocket, she'd spend 100. So give it to it, you can always dip in again. So Suin's got a set budget herself.
Yeah, give me the cash, I need the money, give me the cash. But just to be clear, you are still paying for the expenses, the food and the attractions, yeah? I'm not paying those prices.
And finally, food. Tourist traps will cost you. Again, you can solve this by doing a bit of research. I've gone to the website for the ABBA Museum, found out fish and chips there is £16. If it's £16 in a museum for lunch, you ain't going to pay any more than that. We're very lucky the cheap hotel we've got has got a limited buffet breakfast, but obviously you're not going to be eating budget the whole time you're there. We're really hoping to get seats for meatballs for the people. I've priced that up. You'll get a meal and a drink for less than £20 a head. So you plan in advance, 1 nice meal, couple of light street food lunches, breakfast. I'll let you know in next week's video how much it all cost me. But on this trip, the hidden costs are £35 for the hotel and parking, £34 for the attractions, and £20 for your transport. That's another £90 a head. So that £70 holiday has now become £160 a head. That's still not bad, plus your food, obviously. I would say, including the holiday, including a reasonable amount of food, £200 a head on this one. Be interesting to see next week how much I actually did spend, but the biggest saving was finding the holiday for 70 quid in the first place, which you can do if you follow some of the tips I do on here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Without a suntan, it's Sweden in February. What do you expect?